And we are back, and we just finished watching 2004's Hellboy. This is rated PG-13 with a runtime of 2 hours and 2 minutes. This comes to us from director Guillermo del Toro, with writing credits to Guillermo del Toro, Peter Briggs, and Mike Mignola. This stars Ron Perlman as the titular Hellboy, a demon raised from infancy after being conjured by and rescued from the Nazis. Grows up to be a defender against the forces of darkness. This is tagged as dark fantasy, steampunk, superhero, action, adventure, fantasy, horror, and sci-fi. We originally saw this in the theater.
Yes, way back when it first came out.
Before even having children. This is when we were footloose and fancy-free. We caught this on HBO Max. What did you think? Still holds up, huh?
Yeah, still holds up. It's still fun. It's probably the best adaptation of Hellboy.
Yes. Holy smokes.
The ones that have come after.
No bueno.
I'm going to be honest, even Hellboy 2. I disliked Hellboy 2 a lot.
I did too. It was pretty.
It was gorgeous, but
the
story was terrible. I was really disappointed in Hellboy 2. But as far as this goes, they provided homage to the comic. They threw bits in there. They made some changes. I don't know if I agreed with all of them, but they were there. But overall, the story was fun. The effects were great. Ron Perlman is perfect.
Spectacular.
He plays Hellboy perfectly.
Yeah.
Abe Sapien is good.
Doug Jones with the voice of David Hyde Pierce.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the beginning, the sequence. Any time you get a sequence where Nazis are getting killed.
I mean, that's
what's
that's
not
what
to
we
love.
need to do with
What's
Nazis.
not to love.
Kill them.
Yeah, and then there's the whole supernatural element. There's the whole Lovecraftian element. I love Lovecraftian stuff. Giant, otherworldly tentacle beasts from beyond dimensions that to look upon is to go mad.
Yeah.
All that sort of crazy nonsense. I love that stuff. The fact that the main hero is this huge red demon with a giant stone fist. And it's hilarious because Hellboy basically came from somebody just requested Mike Mignola draw something. He just drew a picture of some big demon with a fist and a belt that said Hellboy on it. And somehow he just was like, you know what? I'm going to make this into a comic.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And there are so many little funny clips from well, they're not in this movie, but there's a lot of fun little Hellboy comics out there.
Oh, my favorite is Pancakes.
Pancakes. I was thinking of Pancakes. There's this 3-panel series that I always see people making copies of, and it's basically like the first panel is Abe Sapien going, "Is that a monkey?" And the second panel is just Hellboy screaming, "He's got a gun!" And the third panel is this crazed chimpanzee firing a magnum. It's all good, wacky sci-fi fun.
And I think you said that Karl Kroenen is more interesting in the movie than in the comic.
Yeah, they've turned him into some sort of like super ninja badass. And in the comic, he's not really shown that much, and he's basically just some nerd scientist with a breathing helmet on. But yeah, they made Kroenen just terrifying. He was just awesome to look at and just a badass swinging those blades around. Yeah. And there's Rasputin. Rasputin is a great villain for any sort of sci-fi sort of thing.
Sure.
What was it? Samael? That thing looked great. And that was a guy in a costume. I think his name was Brian Steele. Brian Steele.
Was he in X-Files?
I don't know. He's like, I think when Del Toro needs a skinny monster, he goes with Doug Jones. And when he needs a bulky monster, I believe he goes with Brian Steele.
Oh, wow. This guy's been in Predator, Doom.
Yeah.
He's the Minotaur in something called Your Highness.
And that's another thing about Del Toro, the practical effects. He keeps those practical effects. He keeps practical sets. And he uses CG to enhance it. You will see CG in this, obviously. There are certain things that you just can't do practically. But he'll use that CG to enhance those practical effects, and it really works well. And Hellboy is, I would think, a more early example of that melding. And it looks great. This is a fun movie.
I wanted to highlight, so we're going to pair this with Frankenstein. It's our Guillermo del Toro weekend. And something that I think I mentioned in the other review that I also wanted to highlight in this review, how I went on a deep dive of interviews of Del Toro and the cast of Frankenstein talking about that film, and Unbeknownst to me, a common theme in Del Toro movies is the father-son relationship. And I didn't make that connection until he said it. And so that's why we wanted to include another film of Del Toro's this weekend with that father-son relationship. It isn't the main focus of this story, but it is integral to the story and it plays a very important part to the story. Here, John Hurt plays Trevor Bruttenholm.
Yeah.
And he's the paranormal
He's
scientist.
sort of the representative of the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense.
Originally in the 40s, when he's going to thwart Rasputin and Kroenen and all those people, he's the one that discovers Hellboy.
Right. He's the guy who sort of knows what's going on. He's the scientific liaison to this platoon of soldiers. And they thwart the attempt by Rasputin to open a portal and invite these otherworldly beings into our world. And the portal was opened long enough for something to come through, and that thing was Hellboy, a baby demon. And
who likes baby Ruths?
Who likes baby Ruths, which apparently were gigantic during World War II.
I think that was another thing we noticed. I was like, everything is so mini-sized now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, it was like a bat. He just whips like two. Yeah, he's just carrying two of those things around. They're like logs. Anyway, he feeds them to Hellboy, and of course Hellboy's gonna love them.
Yeah.
So they adopt Hellboy and they raise him, and I think that's the sort of thing where Hellboy could have been something terrible if he followed his destiny. He would have been the gateway through which the world is destroyed.
Right.
And because he was not raised like that, he was raised by a good man who raised him well, unlike Victor Frankenstein did for his creature. There was no chains in a basement in this movie.
No. Although, in the beginning of the story, Hellboy's on punishment.
He is, but I mean, come on. His punishment is he has to stay in his room with 10,000 cats and just wheelbarrows full of pancakes and candy.
Yes.
So that's a long ways from a leaky cistern with chains and the stench of 1,000 corpses coming up from a hole.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, but Bruttenholm was a way better dad.
Yes.
And you could tell it makes sense that Hellboy became a good person because he was raised by a loving and caring father.
Yes. Fathers are important. Absolutely.
Extremely important, yes.
1 to 10, what would you give this?
I would give this an 8. I enjoyed Hellboy.
I did too.
It still holds up. It's still good. Once again, I got to say, Del Toro, please stay away from romance. You're not good at it.
It's not a focal point in this film, though.
It becomes more of a focal point than I would have liked, and that was another sort of departure from the comic. Liz Sherman is not in any way Hellboy's love interest. Yeah. Hellboy has no real love interest in the comics. She's just basically another character. Mm-hmm. I think she became more prevalent because of the movie, but I don't know. I guess you needed something to give Hellboy, I guess, more of a personality or some sort of other non-world-ending threat to deal with. But I guess they were going for maybe like a love triangle between Liz, Hellboy, and
John.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
Well, yeah, and that was another. Yeah, and that was another thing. And the second one, it was sickening. It was the romance. The romance part was just so saccharine and sickening, and just stop it. I don't want to see it anymore. And they just sort of jettisoned the third character. He's just gone. It's just he got stationed someplace else.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about that movie.
No, never
but
bring it up.
Overall, even with that, the weak romance, it's all right. It's, I guess, more earned in this movie than, say, like in Frankenstein. But it just doesn't feel right. And seriously, Del Toro, you're not good. You're not good with the romance. I know you really want to get that girl on monster action going, but it doesn't really work.
What about Shape of Water? It didn't work for you there?
No, and that one it actually worked because they had time to develop it, and plus the two main characters, they were both mute, so you had to sort of like convey that sort of emotional attachment through other means. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's still kind of gross, but it made more sense in the story, and I feel like it was given more time to develop.
Okay, fair enough.
Whereas in this, and especially in Frankenstein, it's like there's too much other stuff going on. Come on, there's just way too much other stuff going on. We don't have time for this. And good Lord, in Hellboy 2, that was...
Let's never speak of it. I'm going to give this an 8.5 from start to finish. Still holds up. Very tight storytelling. Very well done. I understand what you're saying about romance. It didn't bother me. It wasn't too much. It was just enough, I think. Obviously, Ron Perlman makes this film. He's just amazing. The set pieces, the costuming, the effects, really well done here. Simple story. He was raised a certain way, so he's not this evil entity that's going to unleash havoc. He's actually here for good and to protect.
Yeah, and that's a pivotal point at a certain point in the movie that really comes into play, because Myers actually says something along the lines of be the man your dad taught you to be.
Right.
And that's true. And we've seen that kind of in a lot of
stuff this year
where it's sort of...
I was just thinking about Superman.
Superman, exactly. Yeah. You are not who you're supposed to be. You are who your life has made you, and the people who've influenced you, and things like that.
You are based
Superman,
on your actions, not what your parents tell you to be.
Exactly. So Superman was raised by good people, and that's why he became a good man.
And that end sequence just uplifts me when Gary's like, oh, it makes him happy to see stuff about his parents. And then it's not the video that you think it is.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, it's lovely.
And
yeah,
that plays a part here too. It's the influence of those around you that help form who you become.
Yeah, and how important the father relationship is, the father figure. Absolutely, Hellboy could have been a completely different being had he been raised by the Nazis and Rasputin.
Yeah, he would have just been the key to destruction,
right,
as they said.
All right, we'll wrap it up again. Check out Hellboy from 2004. Wow, this movie is over 20 years old.
God damn.
It doesn't feel it, though.
No, it still looks good.
It's
a crisp, beautiful movie. But then again, it's Del Toro. He makes crisp, beautiful movies.
He really does. He really, really does. I am so gratified to live in a time of Del Toro movies. He is a master storyteller. Even his weak stuff is just beautiful to watch. I'm going to say it. Nightmare Alley, not that great. No. Pretty to look at.
Yes. Same with Hellboy, too.
Yeah. We're going to wrap it up because I'm sure somebody's going to start complaining. And with that, we'll wrap it up and bid you all a
good night.
Good night.